Hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting Tuesday patrons only Eventide stream. How is everyone doing here this fine Tuesday evening? For myself, times they are a-changin'. I'm very happy to report that the gigantic, massive freelance project that has been looming over me for several months is 100% done. I no longer have it on my plate. I turned over the last bits of it to my developer. Yesterday morning, I guess, technically. But it is done. And, you know, honestly, it's kind of the end of a long chain of events that started around this time last year that has really disrupted my past 9 months, but closer to a year. That started with me deciding to move and needing to raise the funds to do that and doing all the things necessary to do that, including our crowdfunding effort and a bunch of extra work. Then packing up and moving from one state to another, being entirely unsettled, and now picking up another piece of freelance, which I wanted to do because I was excited to do it. It's a good project, but it also is a piece of freelance that, frankly, is going to help me settle out my massive tax bills from last year. So, as it turns out, making a whole bunch of money from a crowdfunder and a whole bunch of other sources, that the tax bill on that is excessive. So, now it's all done. And I still can't say what it is. Not yet, but I will be able to say so soon. A couple months, maybe. I'll say this. Grand total, it was close to 50,000 words worth of content, which is a lot. Page count wise, that's 50,000 words is, in our standard layout is something akin to 60 or 70 pages of words with art and layout and stuff. So it's a lot. It's a lot of text. It's a lot of material. And it was a struggle. I have to admit, I have not written that much since working on like the Eventide Player's Guide. That was the last time I kind of really focused down and created, 50,000 words worth of content in a short period of time. This was harder to do for a variety of reasons, but I'm pretty excited about it. I think you will be too. But yeah, that's finally done. So, what does that mean? Where are we? What is going on? Well, over the past few months, we've been able to kind of sneak in some work, get a little things moving. Not a lot, but a little. That's always good. The remaster is now fully kind of here, Lots of folks are getting their hands on this bad boy, so as they do so, as that is now, its street date is here, we can really kind of start digging into what some of its changes mean, because I do feel like, there are a few things we're waiting on with Player Core 2, like some of the other classes that I'm going to need, that I have dependencies on for Eventide. But I do feel like the Monster Core, having the Monster Core, really does kind of clear some of the deck on some of the last things I need to do, to fix up Wolfren's fate and things like that. So some of that work's going to start. We may even start doing some of it here tonight, depending on how the chat goes. But yeah, that's kind of, that aspect of it is clearing up as well. So it's kind of an exciting time. Starting to kind of look forward to the next year and what I can also do. I can tell you this much. I do not want to pick up another giant piece of freelance. I enjoy freelance writing, but boy, until I get things a little bit more settled and a better routine going between work and getting the house still, complete. We're still not fully unpacked. Like, we're getting there. There's progress has been made, but I still have boxes over here, right? There's a few back there, and still not done. It all took a back seat. Everything has been taking back seats to one thing or another for the past 9 months, and that's been the big challenge. So I am kind of excited now to be kind of clearing out from that phase of kind of the shuffling and unsettling, and getting into kind of the longer phase of just kind of sorting out the finer details and getting the last bits finished. My library is nearly complete. The office in here, I've kind of got a whole bunch of things sorted and need to put them in places, but some of those places kind of don't quite exist yet. So, it's all just keeping me real busy. But I will say this. I think we're at the point now where throwing time at Eventide, fixing up Eventide, finishing the remaster project, is now well within my time frame and my horizon. So that is going to become my next kind of big project. I'm definitely going to start bringing bits and pieces of this kind of back to life. Not that they were ever really dead, but they've been sitting fallow. To that end, I want to get my playtest group started back up again. That's going to take a little bit of effort. I still, have all those players. They're waiting. And I read they've been very patient with me, but they also understand that everything has been chaos. So that is kind of my next big goal, is to get that process back up and running. Swap over the group to the remaster, which will take a little bit of effort. Not too much. I think most of my characters are pretty okay on that front. There's a few spells I might want to change and things like that, but I don't have any super alignment based characters or anything like that. So most of that stuff should be pretty straightforward. Excuse me. So, we've got the Player's Guide, we've got Wolfren's Fate, and we have the GM's Guide. Those are the three products I really want to kind of get pulled together to be the basic expression of this campaign setting. And, that's kind of my that's always been my big goal, is to get these pieces pulled together. I think the adventure is coming along stalled because of the move, but I think we're, writing is in part 3 now. Part 2 is close to being able to go to an editor. I do have an editor who's still waiting for the work. Has taken some other work. That's fine. But will make time for me. So I'm going to probably get that spun up here soon. That's kind of where we're at. I mean, I do think that as this year progresses and as some of this content comes together, I am going to be looking to kind of change up the Patreon and how it works in total. I have been giving this more and more thought because, well, to be honest, folks, I greatly appreciate and am thankful for all of the support that I have been getting from all of you. But I'm not going to lie, the number of folks that support this campaign has really dwindled over the past year. And that, I think, largely has to do with the fact that I kind of went, not on hiatus exactly, but I, have been busy. If you look at, as a matter of fact, here, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up because you can see it in the page that's currently here. So if you look behind me here, you can see the credits page here has a thank you to all of the Eventide Lord and Masters. This doesn't even count the lower tier that supported this project up to this point. This is all of them. But I'll say this number is now a fraction of it. You'll see it at the credits at the end of the stream. So that tells me that, first of all, I'm going too slow. My design rate isn't keeping up the interest in perhaps the way that I would like it to. That's understandable. I can't fault people for that. If the work isn't coming along at the rate that they want to see it, and they decide to withdraw their patronage, that makes sense to me. I don't blame them for that. I appreciate everyone who has stuck around with me up to this point, but I also understand that it has been a slow process and a little slower than I would like. There's been some setbacks, there's been some challenges, and that has made it tough. I think the other component of this, though, is that I also, have other design interests, right? I mean, blame it a bit on, whatever amount of ADHD I have. As a designer, I kind of flit around between ideas, and I'll get super excited about a thing and work on it and kind of drive it to completion, and then I'll wander off and do something else. And I do kind of want this Patreon to be more of that. And I've talked about this with all of you, so I don't really need to rehash it right now. But it is going to come later this year. And I want to kind of retool everything. All of the folks who have been promised benefits, there's certain benefits that I've promised. Many of you have a lot of banked benefits on this regard. I'm in the process of workshopping up a list of things that you can just be like, yes, give me this. I would like X. And some of it's really simple, like, you know, you want a signed book plate or something for some of your books. I'll do that. That's fine. We can make that happen. You know, that's a thing that I can make happen without too much trouble. But, you know, for some of you with large word count totals and stuff like that, I am going to be looking at ways to convert that into like, hey, yeah, you know what? You've earned a one-off game session. Gather up a group of your friends and we'll play a game of Pathfinder for one afternoon sometime. You know, so we'll do some things like that. I want to make sure that folks, you know, feel like they've been appropriately rewarded for their patronage in the ways that I promised that I would do so. So none of that's going to change. But I will say that going forward, I'm going to kind of mix up how the tiers work and rename stuff, and, you know, I'll segment things out. And Eventide is still going to be a thing I'm doing. To be clear. It's not a thing I'm going to be doing. It's just not going to be the only thing I'm doing. Because I have, frankly, 2-3 RPGs in various states of development that are lighter expressions that I'm playing around with. I've got some card games I want to redo and revamp. I would really love to get out kind of the first card game I ever designed. I kind of want to do a modern retake on it and release it. This is one I built in like college. That was a Headless Horseman game. It's fun. You have to run away from the Headless Horseman. That's it. That's the game. But it's a ridiculous little card game where you run around and try and escape the Headless Horseman and do all this kind of zany nonsense. And I've got that. I still have the prototype for that. And it's dated. I need to update it. I would design things slightly differently today. But, you know, there's stuff like that I just want to do and I want to play around with. But I don't really feel like the Patreon, as it's set up right now, is really the right place for it. So, you know, that'll come in the future. We've talked about it in the past. I just want to continue the dialogue. What I am really interested in on this front is thoughts from all of you about what things you'd like to see from a Patreon that's more about me and my game interests. I can do, you know, kind of sessions talking about the RPG news of the week. Although I will say that, you know, I may make that more of a monthly sort of thing. And frankly, the thing I don't want to get into is like giving critique of people's games. That's not really my thing. But I'll talk about the news and what's out. I'm kind of a big believer that, you know, I'm not going to sit around and trash somebody else's game. That's just not a good use of my time and not really my persona. I have thoughts and my personal opinions about games, but I think everybody should have those, and you don't need mine to influence yours necessarily. But that doesn't mean I couldn't give like a discussion about, you know, hey, these are the things I think about this game that are cool. Because I think I'm able to find cool things in every game, even games I don't like. I'm still like, oh, I can see why people like this, right? I can see the parts about this game that people find engaging, and here's why I think it's engaging, and here's the things I think it does well, right? You know, so there's things like that. But I'm not a journalist, so I'm not going to turn it into like an official column or anything. More like my musings and thoughts, and you know, where the game industry is going and where it's heading, and you know, those sorts of things. That would be a fun thing. I also might do like historical retrospectives of my own work and stuff like that. But I also might just do design deep dives on things that I'm playing around with and building. You know, talking about how I build things, how they come together, and then showcasing that through the things that I'm making. So there's a lot of things like that I might do in the future. But again, coming back around to all of it, you know, Eventide is still going to be a central piece of this, because it is something that I'm very passionate about. I've sunk a lot of time into. And I do want to see, you know, kind of get finished, get out there. It's definitely a thing that I want. Okay. Well, what I was thinking about playing around with here tonight is going in and actually starting to do some of the changes necessary to convert Wolfren's Fate over to the Orc license. So, this is something I was talking about doing last time. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it until the Monster Core is out. Well, the Monster Core is out, basically. So many people have it now. It's not really, nothing in it is really a secret anymore. So I don't really feel like I'm beholden to that. Although I do think technically street date is tomorrow, maybe. What's street date? Maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. Whatever. It's fine. We're close enough. A lot of people have the PDF. So let's do some of that. Let me play around with that. So here I got, I just have the PDF open here in the background. I'm going to move this over here. That way I can see all of it. The first thing I got to do, I need to make sure I do a save as. Let me do that here first. Save as, interior, remaster. That's fine. Okay. There's one other thing I wanted to check out. I'll do that here real quick. So, play out there. I want to see how I handle the thing in... Where is it? Okay, so... Let me open up Survivor's Guide in this. Okay. All right, so just trying to figure out where I put the notification stuff. Okay, so here on this first page, I have a lot of boilerplate information that does not need to be in here. All of this needs to go. But you know what? I just realized you can't see it because my giant head's in the way. Let me shrink me down to something like this. That'll do. There we go. That'll work out better. Okay. So, I've got a giant chunk of text here. Some of this needs to go. This needs to go. The product identity stuff is going to be covered in the end. So, work edition. And we'll go ahead and just make that regular. Not technically the title. Okay. So that is that. Technically, that is all I need to do. I will say, though, that this no longer kind of looks right. But I can fix that by bringing this down a bit. I think it's okay if the page is a little bit of white space in it. Take a look at that from a distance. Yeah, that's probably fine for now. I may go in and monkey with some of the font sizes and stuff here at some point, but I'm not going to make you watch that. That's boring. Okay. So let me get to the PDF here. Okay. So, just going through my notes here. Change that out. Easy enough. Okay. The next part of this was a note to myself. To review this text here and see if it still is true. Second part of this adventure has the PCs in Wormbone tracking down one of Wolfren's signet rings, the only thing that will allow them access to more of the dungeon underneath the tower. Variety of places where they might look around town. They go to the museum. Yeah, hasn't seen the teetering tower. House of Order. I feel like I rewrote this when part 2 was well in hand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is in pretty good shape. Yep. Absolutely correct. Okay. Yeah, no, that's all good. Okay. Yeah, this is all in good shape. I'm going to leave this for now. I'm going to skip to the next stuff. Okay. So now we're at, let's see, what page am I on here? Okay, so I need to hop down to here. Whoa, what is going on? Something with my formatting is very off. Let's find out what it is. Okay. Yeah, my, some aspect. It's back here somewhere. Was it literally just this first line? Did it become one line longer and that literally threw off the entire document? It is! There's a fun little thing called copy fit. Okay, so this is fun. All right. I don't know that it's fun. It's interesting, but this is the sort of thing that can happen. So you see here how I added this chunk of text here. If I go and remove and GM core, this paragraph gets one line shorter. As a result, all of this ends on the right pages. This starts at the top of columns. If you come down here, it's all fine. This all looks great. Everything's happening at starts of columns, and it's all what we in the business call copy fit. And when we get here, all of this is correct. I'm going to undo that change. And now what happens is, so that piece of text is in here. All of a sudden, this paragraph, which did end at the bottom there, is now a line over, which means it pushes all of this down, which means this paragraph is over. And it being over is now 3 lines over. And you come over here, and now this bleeds into a new page, and that's 3 lines over. And it starts messing around with the art and the formatting, so that when I get down here, all of a sudden I'm no longer even 3 lines over. I'm now 7 lines over. 1, 2, 3, that's 6. And then it gets down here where it totally throws everything off because this note on pacing paragraph is 7 lines over and it has a page return on it. So now I'm a column over, and it's just because 1 line is off. So it's easy enough to fix, but it's sort of stupid thing we have to deal with when you're working with these programs. So how do I fix this? Well, I can look here and I can reduce the tracking. Got me a little back. I don't know that I would see. Here's the thing. If you go too far on tracking, look at what happens to the text. It gets super condensed and kind of illegible. You don't want to do that. That's negative 150. You generally don't want to go below negative 10. So if I don't want to go below negative 10, what I need to do is look at these sentences and see if there's any reductive thing that I can cut. And by its conclusion, the player character should reach 3rd level, ready to take on even greater challenges and explore more of the world of Eventide. So I don't need to. I don't think I need to include this. Wolfren's Fate is an adventure for first level characters using the standard rules found in the Pathfinder Player Core and Pathfinder GM Core as modified by that. So that's it. That's all I needed to do. Now if I look down here, everything's lining up and everything should be back to normal. There's a page number issue here that I'm going to have to sort out, but I'm not going to do that right now. That requires me to go into the templates. What is going on? Why is there an A and an A? Why is that happening? Oh, what's worse, I don't have page numbers on both sides, and they're different. Well, that's weird. What happened there? I don't even know. Not like that in the PDF, is it? No. I mean, when I go to pages, they don't have numbers on the right-hand side? They don't. Huh. Okay. Well, let me figure out a way to fix that. Okay, so, let me zoom in here. Yep. That was a bit too much zoom. Okay. So... what in the hell is going on with that? 16 point versus 12 point. Okay, so... huh. Oh, I think that's the correct one. I think the other one's wrong. So, if the page numbers are supposed to be 16 point, let me go... set up to 16. And now the location on it is off. I think it's almost better to just copy this one. And this is located at... okay, so that's them now evened up. But I want this on the other side, so instead of X being 8 point, try just doing that. I think that should have moved it. Damn it. Where'd my page go? There it is. Okay. Alright, not quite. So I need to drop this back to 7.85, I think. I'll do it. Okay. Great. Go back to my pages. Hey, look, page numbers are back. Hooray! Very good. Okay. Problem solved. 'Twas quite the mystery. You know, so here's the another little inside bit of baseball about working in this industry. Adobe constantly updates InDesign and InCopy and all the software we use. And when they do so, they break things in existing layouts because they're not always forwards compatible, and it's infuriating. Okay. So it wouldn't surprise me if that was what that was. Okay. Okay. So that's that. What I was trying to get down to when I realized this problem was page 8. Our first references that are incorrect. So we've got a reference to animated brooms. Which I don't believe are called animated objects anymore. No, they still are. Okay. So animated broom, still creature minus -1. Everything's good there. The biggest thing that needs to change is the reference. Yep. So that... nothing to worry about there. It's an easy one. Monster Core. Now, if I recall correctly... Magic Mouth became Embed Message. Come here. It's nice having books again. Embed Message. Yes. There we go. Okay. That is those. Alright, we've got a dragon reference in here that I need to update. Single red dragon scale. I'm going to call it that. There is no kind of red dragon analog in Monster Core, so for now I'm just going to call it a mountain dragon. Could call it a volcano dragon, I guess. Not really pretty lava. We'll call it a mountain dragon for now. I like that. That works. What's a mountain dragon? I don't know. And to be clear, this isn't me being coy about something about Pathfinder. I don't know. Okay. I don't think there's anything in this haunt stat block that needs to be updated. Diplomacy, hazards, yeah, it's all fine. AC is all fine. That's all fine. Yep. Yep. Nothing there that needs to be fixed. Looks like the next change is going to be here on the next page. Changes aren't hard. This thing's going to be done soon enough. There's a reference to tinder twigs, but we changed those to matchsticks. One word? Yes. Yep. All good there. Easy, easy. We have a living boulder reference, which I'm sure is going to be fine, because elementals made it. Elemental water, scampies, fire, earth. Huh. Oh, these were in bestiary too. Well, that's a bit of a pickle. Because they're not in here for right now. But as a creature, they're probably fine. I believe it. We'll leave that for now. I'm going to have to consider that one. That's a bestiary 2 reference. Yeah. It's a level 2 elemental. And it's a little creature. Now, I could change it to a scamp, I suppose. Let me take a peek. I mean, I could just change it to an Earth Scamp. Maybe. It's not much of a threat, but I'm not sure that this dungeon needs much more in the way of threats. So maybe that is the answer. Maybe what we do is we change this to... So we have to change all of that. And then I need to do some surgery on the description here. 1 minute after the PC's ended, the chamber rumbles as a... small winged creature made from stone emerges from the floor next to the non-functional lever. Earth Scamp. So, okay. Let me do some surgery here and just or some double checking and make sure that my text is good. So I think I may have broken copy fit again. Let me double check. Yeah, I have. I'm going to have to fix it. I'm over by a line now. That's fixable. Is the line right here? Yeah, so I really need to get a line back somewhere on this page. Most likely place to do it is going to be right here. Actually, the break didn't happen here. It actually happened due to something else. That's weird. Where did that happen? Is it because of something here? Yeah. Matchsticks? Really? Matchsticks shouldn't have done it. That's odd. There we go. That fixed it. Huh. That's a weird one. All right. Good. Okay. So... Okay. So, no more changes here. This is all done. All right. Okay, so coming down here, there's a mention here of a black dragon. We're gonna call it a swamp dragon. That's fine. Again, there is no answer for this. I'm just gonna call it that for now. Next one is a giant centipede entry. I am almost positive giant centipede made it. Hello, demons. Excuse me, demons. Excuse me, demons. Excuse me, crawling hands. Get out of the way. Giant centipede. Coming for you. There you are. Yep, giant centipedes. Creature -1, no changes there. Okay. Alright. Next change is pretty minor. We got a comprehend language here that's being changed to a translate. We got some levels that need to change into rank. Those are easy enough. Then we hit the ashen symbol, which has a page reference that I didn't miss the first go around, but we can fix that. Shadowhunter is on page 30. We got a level that needs to turn into a rank. Scroll of comprehend languages that needs to turn into a scroll of translate. And then we hit the big problem. The brown mold and cave fissure. Boy. I would run into the tough thing here right at the end. This is the one thing that is actually pretty hard. Let me, let's see what I got in terms of hazards. In here, and see if there's anything in here that I can replace it with easily. 98 to 108. The GM core. Okay, so there is a poisonous mold. 103. Let's take a look at that. Deals poison damage. Feeds on decay. Does a whole bunch of... Okay, so I think this is probably the way to go. So if I change this to poisonous mold... This doesn't take into account the fact that I'm going to need to change the text and rules that go with it. So brown mold, I think, is one that we removed because I think it's just a D&D-ism. It's a cold mold that's brown. There's nothing too protectable about it, but it's also pretty not ours. So we do have a poisonous mold. It's level 2, and this is just... The big challenge with this is just... the spore burst only happens if someone touches it. It has floating spores within an aura of 5 feet, which means the players can kind of ignore it as long as they don't end their turn next to it. Oh, when they enter the space, they take some damage. Okay, so... But touching it is much worse. So, in this encounter... So, a large patch of brown mold blocks the way to the staircase to the east, but the PCs can sneak past it to the west without drawing close enough to take damage from its cold aura. If the PCs have lit torches or draw too close, the mold grows, taking up an even larger swath of the floor, making it nearly impossible for anyone to pass. So, this bit of text is going to need to be changed, because this is no longer really accurate. But let's figure out the creature part of it first here real quick. Because the cave fissure is definitely a monster we're not keeping. So I need a level 2 monster that lurks in a dungeon. I mean, the obvious thing to do here is just spiders. It's just a spider. I mean, I think that's the obvious answer. But I don't think I've got a level 2 spider to work with. What do we got here? It's a crocodile. That's what's in the corner. A crocodile. No, not a crocodile. Giant ant, giant bat, giant viper. A pipe fox, that's what it is. Pusk. Slurk. Zombie brute. Serpent folk. What I'm really looking for is something that's really just more of a monster. Snake. Crocodile. Bugbear. Yeah. Not a lot of great choices. Let me look at the spider entry and just see what options are in here. Scorpion. There's just a giant scorpion in the corner. Why? No reason. Just a scorpion. So the hunting spider is level 1. So it could just be... Frankly, the way to go is probably to do an elite hunting spider. Right? That's probably the simplest way to go. So that'll be a creature level 2. It's a bear. One of them corner bears. So, yeah. For 6 PCs, make an elite cave fisher. Well, I can't make it double elite. That's not going to work. Well, we'll figure that part out. One problem at a time. So, let's see here. Green and gray fungus blocks off the eastern half of the room. Poisonous mold. And the hungry hunting spider. That lurks in the stacks to the west. Okay. Tiny bones of the... Blah, 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 blah. Okay. We're updating stuff. Look at us go. Okay. One of them damn cave bears. Okay, Zankar Imperium. Poisonous. Was it floating spores? Oh boy. Yeah, floating spores. So I need to change this. If the PTs touch the mold, All right. So there's that. Hungry hunting spider. And the hunting spider throw webs. I can. What's the range on its webs? Oh, very far. Web strike. You can make this type of kind of. Okay. I think we may have fixed it. Okay. All right. Here's the thing. I've just realized what time it is, so we are going to go ahead and call this good for now. Let me save. Yeah. Boy, time gets away from me when I'm working on this stuff. But look at the time. It is time for me to get going. Folks, I want to thank you for hanging out with me here tonight. Thanks for watching me do some remaster work and chatting about the future. It's good to kind of be back and be back in a way that doesn't feel kind of as encumbered as I've been over the past, 9 months. So, folks, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. We'll see many of you in the next stream here in just a few. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for your support. We'll see you next time.